from ABC7 Bay Area. How could the U.S. Supreme Court's case Grants Pass v. Johnson impact San Francisco's unhoused community? And of course, that's part of the problem. Naturally, my name is Eric. This channel is called Report and Opine. Please subscribe, like, comment, share. I'm begging you.
I'm begging you, please. Come on, please.
It costs you nothing. It helps me a lot. But if you do want to spend money and help me, you can also buy my book, New York City 2020, Gotham Unglued. It is available on Amazon, and that link will, of course, be in the description.
Cisco Luz.
That's right. Since the fall of 2022, San Francisco has been facing its own lawsuit from the Coalition on Homelessness. That case argues that San Francisco has been conducting dehumanizing encampment sweeps. The case in front of the Supreme.
Wow. Okay. We know this. This is quite literally, we do the joke about Clown World, but this is all obviously backwards, right? Alameda County DA Pam Price, right across the bay, says that, well, we need to charge these police officers. In New York, they say, well, you can't park there, police officer, while everything is going absolutely down the drain. And in San Francisco, they want you to believe that there is a dehumanizing attempt at removing the street rats from the sidewalks, right? They're absolutely terrorizing people. They're shooting up. They're zonking out. They're covered in scabs and nasty, disgusting stuff. And it's dehumanizing to say, maybe you guys should go somewhere else.
Supreme Court today takes it a step further, making it a crime for anyone without a home to sleep outside. The case City of Grants Pass versus Johnson is the most significant case on homelessness in more than 40 years. It would make it a crime for anyone without a home to sleep outside when they have.
Yeah, and why not, right? It's gotten so bad. I probably wouldn't have said this 5 or 10 years ago, but it's gotten so bad. And why would they argue, right? If you get arrested, then you get a jail cell, which I'm sure you're going to have no problem still smuggling dope in, because you could just say, if they don't give you your drugs, that's also dehumanizing. But they're going to give you 3 hots and a cot. Is that not better than the sidewalk?
Have no other option.
Try as hard as possible, to find some shelter. But the shelters that they have in the city, they're not too good.
James.
Oh, okay. So sleeping on the sidewalk is not good. I'm working hard, but the shelters are not good either. So why don't you just put me up in a hotel with the illegals? Why don't you do that?
Hans has been homeless in San Francisco for 8 years. He may sleep on the streets, but he's well informed of what the Supreme Court is hearing today.
I think it should concern everybody, whether you're homeless or not.
There are more than 7,700 homeless individuals in San Francisco. The Supreme Court's hearing comes as the city fights an injunction that blocks it from removing homeless encampments from streets if there's no shelter available.
We have in recent years invested.
And who put that? How about just don't? You guys ignore everything else, right? As we know, San Francisco doesn't believe in crime.
You guys worried about consequences like from the police out here?
What? San Francisco doesn't believe in crime. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Shout out the DA, though. Oh, shout out London Breed, too.
So who's going to enforce this stuff? Just don't do it, right? It's the same thing with a couple months ago, the new NYC City Council said that the police officers need to document every interaction with the public to make sure that racism doesn't happen. But who's going to enforce it? You guys don't like the cops. So just do whatever it is you want. That's what you've taught us, is to just do whatever the hell you want, and there are no consequences for it. So why are you even taking this through the court? Just get rid of those people. Just sweep them. Bro, look, I don't know where you're going to send them. Maybe you could send them out, put them outside of Gavin Newsom's house or Nancy Pelosi's house or the Capitol in Sacramento. Or maybe you could lock them up and force them to get some sort of rehab. But that's all inhumane while they're terrorizing whoever's left in San Francisco. And I guess they don't really care, right? The girls in New York didn't care when they were getting punched in the face. The hipsters in the Tenderloin or in the Mission District, they don't care that they have to walk around tents. So whatever.
Billions of dollars in a compassionate services and shelter first approach to addressing homelessness.
Compassionate. Oh, these buzzwords just kill me, right? And we just saw across the bay in Oakland, the macro team, where there's a bunch of blue-haired hipsters that are going to go talk to junkies living in tents about their medicine. And that's compassion. It's too late, bro. right? It doesn't matter. Your compassion, all of that nonsense, it flew out the window. You guys tossed it out the window. You chucked it out the window. You cut off your nose to spite your face. You have to live in it anyways. Shang Tao, mayor of Oakland, got her car broken into. Los Angeles mayor Karen Bass got her house broken into. You did it all because I guess your only hope of maintaining power is doing the exact opposite of Donald Trump, even though he's quite likely more popular than ever. And Gavin Newsom has gotten so desperate that he's running ads that girls in Alabama are getting pulled over and forced to take a pregnancy test on the side of the road. And maybe if they turn up pregnant, they're going to strap them to a hospital bed. I mean, none of this makes any sense.
This doesn't make any sense.
Right? It can't be that bad. Am I the crazy person? That's what they were trying to do to me in New York. We're like, oh, you can't get on the train. Oh, you can't go here. You can't go there. The safest thing is to get a Uber Eats on a bicycle to bring you food because eating food at a restaurant is far too dangerous. So we're going to put a smelly hipster on a bicycle riding through Brooklyn in the rain. That's safer, right? I mean, is this the Twilight Zone? Is this actually serious?
I'm losing my patience. God, you...
Double play.
Fuck! You're kidding!
Judge.
Fuck!
You know what? Let me just calm down.
The attorney David Chu is hopeful the Supreme Court's decision will help San Francisco.
Many of the justices pointed out how these complicated issues are best handled by local cities.
They are not complicated. This another thing they always want to do. Well, this is a very complicated and nuanced issue. No, it's not. Like the border, more specifically. Well, we have to figure out. No, you don't. I promise you, if given the authority, or maybe take the authority, because we know there's very little consequences, or there's consequences if you want to do something that might, if you want to defend yourself or if you want to help a fellow American, there's definitely going to be consequences there. But if you show up and park on a soccer field as an illegal immigrant and, threaten the kids, then there's not really going to be any consequences for that. But my point here is I could genuinely fix this problem in a week, right? And it wouldn't be that tough.
Local communities, local policymakers, not necessarily by a federal judge or a number of federal judges. From our perspective, we think cities like San Francisco, we need a bit more flexibility to address the crisis on our streets.
Today, the majority of Supreme Court justices appeared sympathetic towards the city of Grants Pass. At Glide Foundation, that's concerning.
Our population would really be impacted by just being more criminalized than they already are.
Oh, you mean the junkies who are smoking dope everywhere? They're going to be even more criminalized so that you can make room for the handful of people that still want to live there legally?
We know people are across the board looking for ways to help the unhoused community, but jailing, fining is not the solution.
Yet the president...
Yeah, don't jail them or fine them. Well, of course, they're not going to pay the fines. But what we should do is just... Why doesn't that lady just offer them her home, right? Why don't you just take them in yourself, right? I mean, we see it constantly. Same thing with the migrants. Yeah, go pro-migrant. Okay, cool. Here, sign this petition and you can house a migrant. Oh, well, not right now. I don't really want to do that, right? And Glide Memorial. And there's loads of NGOs and nonprofits and all that sort of stuff in San Francisco specifically that don't even have to show receipts. It is a complete and total money grab. And that's why it's with the homeless industrial complex, right? And these businesses, these NGOs, they pop up all over the place, say, oh, we're going to help you. And then they can somehow raise money, not show one single receipt, and the homelessness only gets worse. And now we have Prop 1, though. Scumbag, greaseball, bang your wife, Governor Gavin Newsom got Prop 1 to pass by less than 1%, and he's going to clean it all up.
Of the Soma Business Association is hoping for a change. He points to people sleeping on sidewalks as a huge challenge to businesses.
If we were to take up the space on the sidewalk, we'd get a penalty. Right? No time at all, we'll get a bill from DPW saying you owe us $1,000. And yet these folks can put up a tent, taking up the whole tent, the whole sidewalk. It's not then accessible for ADA, and it's okay for them.
Last month, Governor Newsom submitted a brief in support of the overturning of Grants Pass. The Supreme Court is expected to make a decision by the end of June. Luz Peña, ABC.
Yeah, okay, well, as we know, there's going to be nothing left, right? So, no, there's not going to be any regular business owners or, families taking their kids to school. That's gone. There's going to be no tax base. So you have a bunch of rich politicians doing whatever the hell they want, while the junkies who, it's getting pretty bad out there, right? Before I would say that the political regime never had to deal with it, but now they quite clearly do with Shang Tao and LA Mayor Karen Bass. But I guess the main point here is that when ABC7 says things like unhoused, it becomes quite clear who they work for. And when you have a criminal political regime, of course, you're going to breed criminal citizens.